Athena's birthday. At yung kanilang anniversary falls on the anniversary of DBM. Kaya tagi-tagi na sila dito sa atin. Wala nang kawala ito. But I'm thankful to Tani here for all those years. You hold the institutional memory for the procurement service. And certainly, today is historic simply because of the presence here of those who made possible what we are celebrating today. And I'd like to acknowledge, of course, Undersecretary Evelyn Guerrero, who is not here with us today because we let her go. In a few weeks, she will be retiring, so she's enjoying part of her retirement already in advance. As well as all the members of the procurement service who have worked hard to bring us to where we are today, which is really a degree of permanence and stability that this office has brought to the procurement service. So, palakpakan naman natin ng procurement service. Even more than that, palakpakan naman natin those who germinated the idea of a procurement service. Apart from starting that idea, there are also pillars of public service in this country. So we are certainly honored to have them with us this morning. As earlier intimated by Director Tani, what we are celebrating today, which is really finally a home after 37 years for the procurement service, is just the beginning of the transformation of the procurement service. You know, one time I asked them, saan ba talaga nakakapit itong procurement service? At one point it was with the GTPB, then it was attached to DBM. Then I asked, so anong status ng mga empleyado dito? Halos lahat kayo contractual, no? And yet, it's a service that is critical to the day-to-day activities of the government, and therefore, I wonder to Tani, bakit it seems you seem to be so temporary, you seem to be so transient. Somehow, I'm sure it affects the morale, of your people. And so I think with Tani and Yusek Bonmoya was born the idea of corporatizing the procurement service together with the Philippine government electronic procurement system. And so when they brought the idea to me, I said, I think that's really how procurement should be, and therefore I told them, why don't you work on that idea until some months later they came back to me and said, we have the Philippine Procurement System Corporation, and I discussed the idea with the GGC, the governance of GOCC's commission, and they were unanimous in approving the idea of corporatizing the PS, and subsequently, the papers are now on the table of the president, and we expect that in a few days or weeks we will be coming back to celebrate another milestone of this office, which is really the formal incorporation of the Philippine Procurement Service Corporation. So, ang mga empleyado ng PS magiging permanente na, hindi na contractual. We have also been talking about the idea. I still distinctly remember when Tani first briefed me, which has remained etched in my head. sabi niya, pag bibili ka sa procurement service natin, and you buy the same brand in our procurement service, on the average, you save about 37%. 37%. If it's not the same brand but the same type, the average saving is about 62%. So sabi ko sa kanya, bakit 10% ang bumibili sa atin? And of course, we all know the reasons, the many reasons why. So I said maybe what we should do is, we should again ask the President to reinstitute an order so that more and more of the agencies take advantage of the benefits of procuring from the procurement service. Because apart from the obvious savings, there is also the facility because you don't have to go through a bidding process because you're buying from a government agency. So we reissued it, and I think there has been some improvement because I think the turnover has reached about 30%, Sabi ni Tani, if ideally the turnover should be 40 billion pesos. So we're at about 12 billion pesos if it's 30%. But sabi ko, I think government should really take full advantage of the benefits of having a procurement service. So I tossed the idea again, and you can talk to some logistics companies about doing this. And there was one idea that struck me when I was invited to the Better Than Cash Alliance that was launched sometime in New York, because it was a similar practice that they did. And the suggestion to me is, why don't you just issue vouchers to all government agencies? And that voucher can only be used by buying their common use supplies from the procurement service. So I told Yusek Pon and Tani here, why don't you study that so that in 2014, we can begin using vouchers so that all agencies will have no choice but to procure from the procurement service. But then also at the same time, naisip ko rin, that will mean procurement service really having to scale up its capacity to undertake procurement, even at least for common use supplies, for the whole government, kasi hindi biro yan. You're talking about 40 billion pesos, and really, you're talking about a going concern. It's like you're having a logistics company here, and not a government office. So that's another challenge for you to scale up to. But I think it's a doable idea and something that we should pursue. And that brings us again to another level of development for the procurement service. So indeed, as it is already, this is a happy occasion, but the future is bright for the procurement service in the changing role that you are performing in government. And I do hope that now that you have a permanent home, that in terms of not just having a permanent headquarters, but also in terms of improving the kind of service that you are performing for government, that we'll be seeing more improvement and developments along that line. So once again, I extend to you my congratulations and my thanks to everybody here who made it possible for this event on a Valentine's Day to happen. And of course, we go all the way back to where the idea started from. And again, our thanks go to the founding fathers of this procurement service. And once again, Prime Minister Virata, Governor Laya, Chairman Tatwico, and Dr. Corpus, Eddie Corpus, Director Tani, and to all the procurement service. Maraming salamat po sa inyong foresight, sa inyong pagtsatsaga, at sa matagal na sakripisyo na ngayon ay natitikman na natin ang pakinabang. Thank you and good morning to everyone.